Hearing her mother try to persuade her to go back to the Wilson group again, Claire asked, completely confused, "Mom, what has Grandma gotten into your head? Why are you so obsessed with me going back to the Wilson group?" Elaine was getting agitated. "Isn't it obvious? The Wilson group is offering $1 million salary. Isn't that better than running your own business? What if you lose all your money? What would your dad and I do then?" Claire said firmly, "Mom, don't even say it. I will never go back to the Wilson group. I would rather beg on the streets than go back. It's not about just making a living, it's about having some self-respect." Elaine looked at her with pure disappointment and lectured, "Self-respect? What good is that if you don't have any money?" With tears streaming down her face, Elaine continued, her voice full of pain. "The Wilson family company is about to go under. If it does, your father and I won't get our pensions. You know we're relying on that money to survive in our old age. And besides, even if your grandma can't stand your dad, he still has a stake in the Wilson group. If you don't go back, we won't get any dividends. What happens to us if we have nothing to live on in the future?" Claire blurted out, "Mom, that's the Wilson family's own fault for mismanaging things. If they really go bankrupt one day, they deserve it." Elaine suddenly flew into a panic. "What are you talking about? We've put so much effort into the Wilson family for so many years. Are you okay with seeing all of that go down the drain, leaving us with nothing? Have you even thought about me?" Claire replied seriously, "I have always thought about you. You told me to give you most of my salary, and I always did. You said you wanted to manage all the money in our family, and Dad and I didn't object. I listened to you in so many ways, but you have to give me a little respect too. I don't want to go back to the Wilson group. I want to start my own business and do something for myself. Can't you support me in that?" Elaine knew she was losing the argument, so she just sat down on the sofa, covered her face, and started crying. "Why is my life so hard?" she muttered. "I worked so hard to raise a daughter, hoping she'd marry a good husband and have a good life. But what happened? Your grandfather insisted on bringing this useless son-in-law into our family. Now my own daughter won't even listen to me. Nobody in this family cares about me anymore. What's the point of even being alive?" When Claire saw her mother resorting to guilt-tripping, she got frustrated and said, "Mom, why do you always have to blame Charlie for everything? Charlie is actually doing pretty well now. Once the new villa is renovated, we can all live in it. We have Charlie to thank for that, don't we?" Elaine just cried harder. "What good is living there? We'll just be worrying the whole time that the White family will come back and kick our family out." Claire sighed. "If you're just going to cry and worry like this, then I can't help you. Maybe Charlie and I should just rent a house somewhere else. We'll move out." "You?" Elaine shot up from the sofa when she heard this. "You want to separate from us?" Claire nodded. "We've been married for several years. It's time we moved out on our own." "No!" Elaine blurted out immediately. "Absolutely not!" Claire said seriously, "Mom, if you force me to go to the Wilson group, then Charlie and I will move out. If you drop the subject, we'll stay. It's one or the other. The choice is yours." Elaine stared into Claire's eyes and knew her daughter wasn't bluffing. A cold wave of panic washed over her. She realized she had pushed way too far. If she kept up the dramatics, crying and making a scene like this, Claire would probably pack her bags and move out with Charlie. And if that happened, Elaine knew she would have pushed her daughter away for good. If they moved out, how would she ever get the chance to live in that amazing villa Salmon White gave to Charlie? The thought of that made her give in immediately. So, she could only sigh and say, "Okay, I support you starting your own business, and I won't mention the Wilson group again. Is that better?" Claire looked relieved, nodded, and said, "Then we won't move out." Seeing Claire take control of the situation so masterfully, Charlie couldn't help but give her a thumbs up. His wife really had a backbone. You didn't always see it, but when it really mattered, she was incredibly effective. Jacob, who had been quiet the whole time, felt a little flustered seeing his daughter so worked up. He quickly tried to smooth things over. "Look at you two. What was all that arguing about? Isn't this much better, with the family all getting along?" Elaine shot him a dirty look. "I didn't hear a peep out of you a minute ago, and now you decide to talk?" At least Charlie, for all his faults, managed to get us a villa to live in. What about you? All you do is play with your weird, junky trinkets all day. You're the most useless person in this family. "Hey," Jacob said, getting defensive as his wife turned on him. "Let me tell you something, Elaine. Don't look down on me. I'm doing big things now. Did you already forget when I sold those medicinal materials and made hundreds of thousands of dollars?" Elaine scoffed. "You're going to get yourself arrested for fraud one of these days. Don't expect me to spend a dime bailing you out." "You witch," Jacob said angrily. "Don't be so condescending, okay? I'm dealing in antiques. It takes skill." As he spoke, he rushed into the other room and came back out holding a pen holder. He said with a proud expression, "Look, a real treasure I picked up today. I'll let you see what a real find looks like. This thing alone is worth hundreds of thousands." Elaine said with a sneer, "You? Get real. You should take a good look in the mirror before you start bragging like that." Jacob stomped his foot in frustration. "You woman! Don't look down on things you don't understand. This pen holder is from the ancient era. I got it for a steal at $5,000. I already sent a picture to Irvin Jones, the guy who deals in historical artifacts, and he's willing to pay $300,000 for it." Charlie glanced at Jacob's pen holder and was surprised. If it were really a pen holder from the ancient era, it could easily be worth hundreds of thousands. However, Charlie could tell at a glance that Jacob's pen holder was no historical artifact. The craftsmanship was clearly modern. It was worth $100 tops. Jacob buying this for $5,000 was just plain foolish. Charlie couldn't help but wonder. His father-in-law didn't know a thing about antiques, so it was normal for him to get scammed. But Irvin? He was a slick antique dealer. If you tried to sell him something worth $100,000, he'd try to get it for $100. There was no way he couldn't tell that this pen holder was a fake. So why would he be willing to spend $300,000 on it? When they heard what Jacob said, everyone looked at him in disbelief. Elaine asked in surprise, "You're saying someone really wants to spend $300,000 on this beat-up thing? It's just a piece of junk. I don't think you could even get $50 for it." Jacob said triumphantly, "Why would I lie to you? If you don't believe me, look at the chat history." He opened his online chat, and sure enough, a person named Irvin had sent him a voice message. Jacob played the message, and Irvin's voice came through the speaker. "Mr. Wilson, that pen holder of yours is a real find. I think it's from the ancient era. Tell you what, I'll give you $300,000 for it. You should sell it to me. Let's do it." Elaine was stunned. "Oh my God, it's true. Jacob, you're amazing. You really have an eye for this. You bought it for $5,000 and you're selling it for $300,000. Jacob just grunted and asked with a smug look, "So, are you impressed now?" "I'm asking you, are you impressed?" "I'm impressed." Elaine was someone who lived for money, and the moment she heard it could sell for $300,000, she completely forgot everything she had just said. She smiled sweetly and said, "My husband has really developed a talent. So impressive. It seems like Charlie is the most useless one in our family after all." Charlie's face darkened. "What the heck does this have to do with me?" he thought. Why does she always have to drag me into it? Did she forget that the money he made from those medicinal materials was because I made them? It seemed he'd have to find a chance to ask Irvin what he was thinking. This was just setting his father-in-law up to waste more money in the future. At that moment, Jacob excitedly handed the pen holder to Charlie and said, "Charlie, tomorrow, take this pen holder and go to the vintage market to find Irvin. He'll have $300,000 in cash ready for you. You bring it back to me." Charlie nodded quickly. "I know, Dad." Jacob said with satisfaction, "You know, you should come with me to the antique scene more often. Maybe one day you'll develop a sharp eye just like me. When that happens, we can find some hidden gems together. We could make a fortune." Charlie could only agree out loud, but he was thinking, all you ever do is get into trouble. And you want me to learn from you? Have you already forgotten about that time at the antique gallery when you smashed that vase? If I hadn't helped you fix it, you'd be in jail. Don't you have any memory at all? But then Charlie reconsidered. His father-in-law was just a lovable old fool. He acted like a big shot all day, and it was useless to argue with him. It was better to just let him feel good about himself. Early the next morning, Jacob happily called Charlie. "Charlie, hurry up and take that pen holder to Irvin Jones. He has the cash ready." Charlie nodded and asked, "Dad, aren't you going?" Jacob said, "I have to go to the art guild this morning. They invited me to a meeting and asked me to join. Once I'm a member, there are all sorts of members-only auctions for classical paintings and a lot of hidden gems to be found." Charlie said helplessly, "All right, I'll go to the vintage market and find Irvin." With Jacob's instructions, Charlie was about to head to the vintage market to find Irvin. Claire happened to have the day off and was getting bored with nothing to do. "Charlie, mind if I come with you?" she asked. Charlie nodded. "Sure, perfect timing. You can drive." Claire shook her head. "You go ahead. I don't really feel like driving."
Hey amazing viewers, it's Charlie here. Thanks for sticking with us. By the time of the release of this video, only 11% of our viewers have joined the party by subscribing, and 89% of you might miss out on our next mind-blowing video. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and join the exclusive club.